This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 852, How I Paid Off $17,000 of Debt in 1 Year, and What I'd Tell My 20-Year-Old Self About Money, both by Cait Flanders of CaitFlanders.com. And hello again, I'm Dan. I'm the guy who's here each weekday reading to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance. And if you have any requests for us, any topic requests, something you'd like to hear us cover, visit oldpodcast.com and share those ideas with us if you would. That's oldpodcast.com. And I have 2 posts for you today from Cait Flanders, so let's get right to them as we start optimizing your life. How I Paid Off $17,000 of Debt in 1 Year by Cait Flanders of CaitFlanders.com. Since coming out to my family and friends about my debt and this blog, the number one question I get asked is how I've paid off so much debt, in particular, my credit card debt. I know I've mentioned a few of these things in older posts, but it's been interesting looking back on the last year and seeing all of the steps it took to get me where I am today. First, I moved home. Yep, I did the one thing no 20-something wants to do, and moving home isn't easy for anyone in a family. As the child, I'd built up enough independence that I felt foolish for needing help. And for my family, I was another person in the house who had basic needs, good days, bad days, etc. It's not an easy decision or adjustment for any family to make, but I'm so incredibly grateful that my parents let me move home. Otherwise, who knows where my finances would be right now. I made a plan. When I was maxed out, I had 4 different debts. My car loan, about $8,360, my consolidation loan, $8,800, my credit cards, $6,500, and some tuition, $4,455, that my parents had paid for. My first plan was deciding which debts to pay off first. For anyone else, the answer would probably have been the credit card debt, but I hate owing real people money, so I decided to pay my parents back first. Next, I'd pay off my credit cards, and finally, I'd look at paying my loans off early. I set a goal. I remember making my very first debt repayment plan and thinking I was absolutely insane. Sure, I had scratched out some numbers and imagined it being possible, but saying that you are going to pay off $1,700 of debt per month and doing it are 2 very different things. Along with making a plan, I kept 2 images in the back of my mind. 1, my almost maxed out credit card statement, and 2, imagining seeing it say that I owed $0. That was my goal. I stopped having fun. Okay, that's not entirely true, but I made paying down debt my top priority and stopped doing a lot of the things I considered fun to make it happen. I stopped going to shopping malls and avoided Amazon at all costs. I opted out of putting any color in my hair and only got a couple of trims. And I imagine my biggest savings came from how much I cut back on drinking. Not drinking equals not starting a tab, not needing late-night pizza, and not needing to pay for a cab ride home. Being a designated driver meant I got more sleep, suffered from fewer hangovers, and, you guessed it, started to work out. I learned how to trust myself. This might sound silly, but it's taken me a full year to trust myself enough to put a credit card back in my wallet. I still have days where I want nothing more than to swipe for a new bed, or at least a new pair of running shoes. But credit card debt is not only stupid to have, it just sucks. It weighs heavy on your mind and costs you more than it's worth. And I'm finally able to trust myself to use my card as a tool rather than as a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th bank account. Don't believe me? I'm still going strong without a TV. So if you've ever wondered how I paid off $17,000 of debt in 1 year, the answer is simply this. I made it my top priority. And it wasn't always easy, but it's definitely been worth it. And I have another post from Cait in just a sec, but first, I don't know about you, but I've had computers give me the blue screen of death or crash in the middle of an update or in the middle of recording an Optimal Finance Daily, and it's scary. Backblaze is a gimmick-free, unlimited cloud backup solution for Macs and PCs for just $6 per month per computer. It automatically backs up your documents, music, photos, videos, drawings, projects, everything. And you can access all your data anywhere in the world on the web or with the mobile apps. And they make it super easy. If you need to restore your files, you can restore just one if you accidentally deleted something, or all of them, and even restore by mail if you have a complete system failure. They'll FedEx you a hard drive or flash drive with all your data. Receive a fully featured 15-day no-risk free trial at backblaze.com/optimalfinance. So go there, play with it, and start protecting yourself from potential bad times. Start today and make sure you visit backblaze.com/optimalfinance so they know where you came from and continue to support the show. That's backblaze.com/optimalfinance. What I'd Tell My 20-Year-Old Self About Money by Cait Flanders of CaitFlanders.com. In April, Jay Money looked back on who he was at the age of 20 and wrote a list of financial advice he would give to that version of himself today. As I was reading his post, I immediately came up with a few things that would have been on my own list. This post has been sitting in my drafts ever since. I may only be 28, but looking back at 20-year-old me, I can hardly believe we're the same person. I was so unfocused. I cared about nothing but making money, partying, and socializing. Good grades? Good enough was good for me. Today I'm the girl who is up before 6 a.m. to start her crazy workaholic routine. I'm a perfectionist, scared to submit any piece of work that isn't up to my ridiculously high standards, and those are just the changes I've made in my school and my career. As for my finances back then, I'm sure you can imagine what that looked like. Here's a list of 10 things I'd tell my 20-year-old self about money. Number 10, your credit card is not a second bank account. I don't know who taught you otherwise, but plastic isn't a way to fill in the blanks of your budget. It's a tool to help you build credit. End of discussion. 9, also, pay off the balance each month. I don't know why you think you can get away with only making the minimum payment, but one day it'll catch up with you, and in the meantime, you're going to waste a ton of money on added interest charges. 8, it's not a sale if you put it on credit and can't pay it off. So wipe that smirk off your face whenever you tell people you got something at 50% off the retail price. It'll probably take you a year to pay for it, which will erase what you saved and potentially leave you paying more. 7, save 10% of your net income, if not more. Dad has been drilling you with this since you got your first paycheck at the age of 15. He's not just trying to control what you do with your money, he's honestly trying to teach you how to save, which will help you in your future. 6, stop taking money out of savings. Seriously, what are you doing? You're never going to save a dime if you continue to take out that money and blow it on stupid things. 5, you don't need to buy new books all the time. There is such a thing as going to the library, or at least waiting until you're done reading all of the books you have before buying more. 4, you also don't need brand new furniture. Sure, it's nice to look at, but it's a luxury. You don't need to design and furnish your dream apartment. You're 20 and you live in a dump, and that's okay right now. 3, you're going to waste a ton of money on partying. I don't think I can stop you from doing this, but I want you to be aware that paying to drink booze results in you literally pissing your money away. 2, teach yourself how to budget. Please do it now before it's too late. It's not a scary, restrictive, or boring tool. It's the best way to picture your financial future, set goals, and go after them. And 1 day, you're going to write a blog about your personal finances and maybe even inspire a few people to pay closer attention to theirs. You'll never believe me, but I promise it's true. And each new post and comment will inspire you to get better and better at it. What would you tell your 20-year-old self about money? You just listened to the posts titled, How I Paid Off $17,000 of Debt in 1 Year and What I'd Tell My 20-Year-Old Self About Money, both by Cait Flanders of CaitFlanders.com. And that'll do it for this edition of Optimal Finance Daily. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.